Yeah, I'm getting ready to move, so hopefully, the place that I'm looking at right now, I'm gonna have an area to set up an actual office, so I'll actually be able to do more streaming, like, in front of a camera and stuff. Right now, you're just in my butt pocket, and I got the AirPods in, so I'm pretty minimalist right now, which that's alright. Yeah, it seems to work. I've heard no complaints. And speaking of plugs, my comic is still live for the next 18 days on Kickstarter. Yeah, yes, I do. I don't know. I wouldn't necessarily say my comics for comic people, though. I mean, no offense to those folks, but I got something a little different. They might not gravitate towards that. Yeah, I mean, if you like twisted my arm and forced me to make the comparison, it's pretty much like if you splashed Ash Williams with Ernest P. Worrell. So that's the mentality of it. That's not necessarily my only source material for, inspiration. Yeah, I think Edwin Boyette said he said it was hillbilly horror is the phrase that he likes to use to describe it, which, he enjoys it too, so he's not trying to demean it or anything. But I have fun making it, and people enjoy reading it as well. I do I do things a little differently too, not just, in content, but like you could read the first two issues on the Kickstarter for free. Like I just share my shit like crazy. Like I'm one of the only pro piracy creators out there, man. Yeah, well, I discovered this. It's more of a philosophy and less of a religion, but technically it is a religion. But it's that copimism thing that was started by the founders of Pirate Bay, because at one point they were trying to get religious protections for their website. So they ended up putting together, this kind of religious philosophy of copimism, which it sounds like communism, but it's not. It's just the philosophy that information everyone should be able to replicate and share information freely, and that's all it is. And I feel that way about the books too. Like I know I'm not pissing on anybody, but I really don't want to like nickel and dime everybody about PDFs. I'd much rather people be able to just share that stuff around and not have to worry about getting a fucking cease and desist letter from me like you're pirating my comics. No, no, they're free. They're out there. That's my intention. Yeah, I'm already funded. Like I have that philosophy. I have a good amount of faith that the people who really like the books are going to buy the physical copies and help support the books. You know? And that philosophy seems to work. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, more so. And yeah, and especially building it if they will come. My book's already done. I just have to letter issue 3, but the art for that book's done. In fact, issue 4 is done too. Like, I just have to do the lettering for that one too. All interior art and the main front and back cover of that issue are done. Oh man, I really want to get that new RoboCop game. I played the demo and I play yeah, the demo was awesome and I liked it so much I went back to play it again. I guess they had taken it down because it was getting too close to the release of the game. And I was like, "Oh man, now I got to buy it." I was like, "I do want to buy it, but I was a little cheap. I was just hoping to get my fix on that demo again, but man, yeah, that game is really fun. The voice acting is very questionable. Uh, I mean, well, yeah, the voice for RoboCop sounds all right, but I mean, like the rest of it, like I've seen a lot of faces that do not match the voices that I'm hearing either. Like, so, I mean, it's very B movies here. But beyond that, if you could look past yeah, but I mean, if you can get over the goofy kind of voice acting at times and how the visuals are kind of sometimes a little weird, like that intro for the news station or whatever, like that was a little cringy. If you could look past that, like it is a really good RoboCop game. Like I think there's that one instance where I was tracking some guy down to find his stash of drugs or something like that, and then all the other drug dealers were after this guy too, but they were only mad because he was like selling cheaper than it cost to manufacture, and it was just so fucking hilarious, man. Like they really went in full in on the satirization of consumerism and corporatism or whatever the hell you call it. This is my RoboCop 3, in my opinion, because it takes place after 2. No, it says it takes place between 2 and 3, or that's what I've been reading. But I just don't pretend 3 exists anyways, because that movie is just, that's not a RoboCop. What, the cartoon or the Canadian thing that they had? Huh. Was that yeah, that must have been the Canadian one, right? Like, where he was, like had, like, the puck that he would, like, throw at the doors to shoot at, and he was, like, in love with, like, this I remember I haven't seen it, but I've heard about it. I thought that was just a Canadian thing. I thought I can't comment on it. I hadn't seen it. I like the movies a lot, and I like the comic books that I read. Did you know that that Frank Miller ended up writing a script for RoboCop 2, and they scrapped it. They used some elements of it, but they actually went back later, I think in 2011, I want to say, and they actually turned his script into a miniseries comic or a graphic novel now. But which I thought was pretty cool because a lot of the elements from 2 were from his original script, like them trying to make another robot. And there were a lot of differences, but there were a lot of similarities as well. They said his script is like impossible to film. Oh, yeah, if you read the comic that they made from adapting his script, and yeah, that thing at that time was impossible to film. But I did like I saw a video on YouTube where they smoothed out the stop motion on the RoboCop, the ED-209 scenes and stuff. And honestly, I like it better the way it was. Looks a little jerky and stuff. It doesn't look right after they smoothed it out. Yeah, like like and there's also a thing considering with these a lot of the stop motion too, a lot of details that people don't realize actually play into the overall presentation as well. Like if you remember the original King Kong movie, how there were scenes where he was at the top of the skyscraper and it seemed like the wind was blowing his fur around. That wasn't the wind. That wasn't even planned. That was just their fingerprints after, they kept handling the thing. But it actually ended up kind of mimicking how the wind would have blown around his fur. And it was just like these random splotches and inconsistencies that just kept showing up. And yeah, it, it's I think the way to attain pure perfection is through imperfection. Because when they tune it and they polish it and everything and they make it 100% correct, it doesn't look right. Does not look right. It loses everything. Yeah, it is. I mean, nature is imperfect. I mean, you look at it, you don't see symmetrical trees and shit like that. Like even people, like you can Google this right now. Google symmetrical faces, and it will blow your mind because they will look so weird and alien to be symmetrical. It kind of you realize that nobody has the same size eyes. Nobody has the same size ears. Um, if they did, they would look very strange. Which one are you playing? Oh, okay. I thought about getting four, but I think I bought that Baldur's Gate 3 instead, which I haven't played with the wife yet because we just been too busy. No, that's okay. I had to talk to the wife for a second, so I had my mic off anyways. Sometimes I get aggravated like that because like I'll finally have a good opportunity to play some games and I'm like feeling really good about it, but every game that I end up playing ends up kicking my ass and kind of pisses me off a little bit. And then I gotta cycle through my games and I keep losing. I'm like, oh, today is not my day. Oh yeah. Yeah. But I downloaded that game and then I didn't play it and then I uninstalled it. I don't know, man. I don't even have the urge to play it. I mean, I like the other games just fine, but I don't know. I've played better space games already. Like, I think No Man's Sky feels like a better space game to me because I can actually fly around from planet to planet and yeah, it's a bit repetitious and everything, but that's what I want out of a space game is like or even that Elite Dangerous game was pretty cool too. And and I was honestly pretty excited for Starfield, but once when I saw there was really no space exploration, it was more just like, fast traveling from system to system, and there really wasn't a whole lot of opportunity
Nice
to
job.
fly around and do cool stuff. I was like, well, what am I doing here? Like this is like Oblivion without the horse. Like, yeah. But no, I don't know. It just seems like the game's mostly a bunch of fucking loading screens. But, I mean, it's cool if folks like it. I'm just
Right.
speaking from
We're
my
safe
own
now, thanks to you.
personal it's just I don't
One more
there
thing.
doesn't seem to be much there
Come soon. We're gonna have
for me that hasn't been done better by somebody else already. The one game I did get kind of addicted to is that Remnant 2, which is a Souls-like co-op game with guns. The first one is really difficult. The first one, they're just trying to figure stuff out. What? Hey, you gotta do the transfer first. Um, yeah, like, what were your impressions with the first one? What did you not like about it? Oh yeah, I feel like they really fine-tuned it with number 2 because they added, like you can swap your classes and everything on the fly, but now you can equip, like, 2 different classes, and it's really kinda neat, you can really kinda make a build to kinda cater to your kinda play style, more so than in other games I've found. It's kind of getting closer to Diablo than it is a Souls game, at least in my experience, like, with how your builds are and everything. Oh, I haven't played that one. That yeah, that's the one that got ripped off by Fortnite, and now hardly anybody remembers it anymore, I don't think. Oh, I thought
Fucking
you
hurts.
just when you did that raspberry at first, I thought you shit your pants, man. I was like, oh Lord, this dude went to Taco Bell before he streamed. Yeah, zombie game. I've been had started playing it on the Game Pass for free initially, but that World War Z actually turned out to be a really good zombie game. Hmm? No, well, she started talking to me, but yeah. Yeah, it did kind of feel like a spiritual successor to Left 4 Dead, and I enjoyed that a lot. I had high hopes for that one game. Fuck, I don't even remember what it's called now. But it was supposedly made by the people, the devs of the original Left 4 Dead. Supposedly. Yeah, what the hell was that? Back for Blood. That's what it was called. But they had, I don't know, that it felt like they ruined it, man. It didn't feel right. They had this weird thing going on with like these trading cards for perks and stuff, and it's just it just was not good. Uh, you can just it's just one of those games where it works and everything, but when you play it, you can just feel how kind of soulless it is. It just and only a couple of the people in the development house lightly worked on the other two games. It wasn't anything like the original creative team or anything like that. That was a complete over exaggeration as well. But that World War Z, I feel like a lot of people just looked that one over because I guess they just wrote it off as another crappy movie game. When the game actually turned out to be better than the damn movie. I'm still playing that game. I'm not watching the movie. The movie wasn't that bad. I don't think so. I don't know. I'd have to probably go back and watch it, but I don't remember not liking it. Yeah.
Let's take a look, shall we?
But at the same time, the movie is kind of confusing too because you kind of look at it, you're like, why would this studio pay all this money for Brad Pitt and then have him looking like a greasy trailer park bum through most of the film? Well, that didn't sit right with me. I'm like, man, why? This It wasn't that bad of a movie though for a zombie movie. It was pretty good. I liked it more than that I Am Legend movie that they made with Will Smith. Well, I Am Legend had already been done multiple times, and like they had Vincent Price in The Last Man on Earth is what it was called, and then they had Charlton Heston, I think, and the Omega Man. Those no, they never do. But I will say, I don't know if you have watched it, but I went to theaters to go see the Five Nights at Freddy's movie, and hot damn,
Come on, you ugly bugger!
that is a fantastic movie, and I'm going to say it's not a. I'm not saying it is fantastic as in it is perfect, but it is a movie made specifically for the people who loved the games, and I have mad respect for that. That is something I want to see more of. I feel like this movie is this generation's Gremlins. To be completely honest, I feel like the magic is there. Yeah, he was. I like that guy a lot. I always have. Well, he was the one of the Bat Killers in Scream One. I think that's where he started his career. I'm not sure though. That's yeah, he may have been at Hackers too. Now that I'm thinking, but that may be a Mandela effect thing too. But yeah, but even if you don't like horror movies, man, I would say watch that. It's not really a
Can't
horror
hurt to look.
movie. It has horror elements in it, yeah, but it's got a lot of fun stuff in it. It's got a lot of heart in it. But the creator, which I guess he got quote unquote canceled a little while back because it came out that he was Christian. So they tried canceling them. Yeah. Basically. But that kind of gives me a little more respect for the guy too. You know, there's not a lot of people out there who are open about that stuff and just, you know, fuck everybody else. But I never played the games. I just remember watching, seeing it everywhere on YouTube initially when it first came out because all the streamers were doing Let's Plays of it, like Markiplier and all of those guys.
Lay the fuck down!
Yeah. Which, he's in the movie too. Well, yeah, and the creator even kind of said that, and he really wanted Markiplier to be in the movie, but since that guy's making his own movie currently, the scheduling just didn't work out. But even the creator was like, you know, we're going to have him in a film one way or another because he is, you know, he's pretty big as far as the reason why we're successful. I don't know. It's just the guy who made it. Was his Scott Cawthorn or whatever. He just seems like a very humble, kind of realistic person. That's the more of the kind of people we need in entertainment. You know. Yeah. So they're already
Anything
getting a
worth
second
anything in here?
movie, so that's already been confirmed. I hope it's the same director because I like this lady who directed this movie. I haven't watched any videos on it in forever. The only reason I still have it somewhat fresh on my mind is like my nephews and stuff really fell in love with it. Like kids really gravitated towards that one for some reason. Yeah. Yeah, less is more a lot of times. Especially, a lot of people don't
These
get
dills
that.
are wearing me
And
out.
that's what aggravates me. Like when I'm watching a horror movie and they show like the monster in the first couple of minutes, that really just kills any expectations I had for actually, because like a lot of it isn't even. I don't know, man. Like your imagination can come up with a lot worse things than whatever director can come up with to show you on camera. That is for damn sure. And a lot of movies pull that off correctly, and they don't show the monster. When they do show it, it's like in the shadows. You don't see a lot of details. Your mind still has to work out the rest. Yeah, like a good example is like when I was growing up, my parents would kind of let me watch the more scarier movies as a kid, like Jurassic Park, or a great example would be Aliens. But during like the really scary parts, when like they were showing body parts or whatever, I was told to put my hands over my eyes and close my eyes. I did. But the things that my brain came up with when hearing the sounds of that movie,
That's how I roll.
they was way worse than what it actually turned out to be when I ended up being able, not have to shut my eyes or anything. I was kind of disappointed. Yeah. Who drew your thing that you're using here on the Discord? Your icon here that I'm seeing. Oh, okay.
Bloody tosser.
Thought I recognized that line mark, but you did a good job on the colors. Yeah, well, I've been improving as well. Like, I'm not necessarily practicing and stuff like you are. I'm improving because instead of like doing scripts, I just draw my book and then I give that to the artist. And I'm like, here, do this, but better. It works, but I have noticed like over time of just, drawing these things, I am, developing better skills and stuff like that. I'm getting better at drawing people.
You're really starting to piss me off.
It sounded like it. I kind of recognize those car sounds. I really like, I do not, I liked Dying Light. I do not like Dying Light 2. I had a terrible time with that game. I really liked Dead Island and I liked Riptide as well. Dead Island 2 was pretty fun. I mean, I was a little disappointed they kind of ditched the open world thing, but I'm also kind of happy about that as well because it means like the maps that they do put you in that there's a lot to find. There's a lot less empty, boring space. I don't think you could even kill vehicles in Dead Island either. Like you can get them stuck somewhere, but I don't think you can like kill. I don't. I've never been able to do it. Like I remember like on the 360, my buddy and I used to play co-op and we would just spend hours just like ramping the cars off of the mountain or whatever. It was really fun. Water. I need water. I'm so thirsty. Yeah. I guess how you get shot. You just immediately get tased. I'm pretty sure you can keep it going as long as you don't get stuck. Oh, that's doing all right. There we go. All right, have a good night. Well, they're all dead. Yeah. But on that note, I do have to hop off of here. I'm getting ready to eat supper with the wife. Yeah. Otis Stein, The Adventures or Misadventures of an Undead Redneck. Issue 3 is currently funding on Kickstarter. You can go to otisstein.com and it'll take you right there. Read both issues on the campaign page for free. Yeah, all physical backers are gonna get a free poster of that King of the Stein, kind of homage to King of the Hill and Mike Judge and all that. We ended up doing that. I got Carlos to do that after Johnny Hardwick passed away recently, and he was the voice of Dale Gribble. Yeah, I think after he passed away, that's when all the stuff for kind of died out about bringing King of the Hill back, which I'm kind of glad. I feel like that one's sacred now because Tom Petty's gone and he did the voice of Lucky. Brittany Murphy's gone and she voiced Luann. And Johnny Hardwick's gone and he voiced Dale. All of those are pretty big characters in the franchise. I mean, maybe not Lucky, but at least to me he was. But anyways, I do have to hop off. Getting looks from the wife. All right. Thanks for having me on. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Later.